Friday the 29th of November, we have Friday the 29th, the Australian Cricket Australia's says age is not a consideration picking a test side. Same old story, no problem here. That's General Cherney says Cricket Australia remains publicly bullish around the depth in Australia cricket amid concerns of the performance of the national men's side. So quite incredible. Marnus turns to best man to save career. He is really getting to be a bit painful. The axe might be looming, but Labuschagne is too good to be written off, says Tim Payne. Well, we'll see about that. Let's just see what happens. We all know what happened to Ponting and even the Wars. They all had moments when they were dropped. Gavasker gets mentioned here by Daniel Cherney. IPL big money to test young players' thirst for long game. United stance on calendar. Chance to test debut as Sampa striving. Mentor urges Marnus to work smarter, not harder. Neil Da Costa was his man back then. Get him in, says Healy, calls for Redden to make debut at Adelaide. Hi everyone, this is Norman Kochnick here for Eyes on Sports, Eyes on Cricket with Norman Kochnick. I'm here to do my daily newspaper wrap-up from the morning. It's Friday the 29th of November. My God, November's about gone. Quite incredible. We've got the Australian newspaper here, which is somewhat more sophisticated, I would argue, but it obviously covers cricket. Now, there's a massive page here with a massive photo of good old Marnus Labuschagne, and they're talking about same old story, no problem here. And what they're referring to there is Cricket Australia remains publicly bullish, as they would describe it as, basically suggests that everything's fine, the depth is there, the performance of the national men's team is not good, but they've got plenty of depth. Bo Webster's call-up is an example of that. We've also got a high degree of confidence that there's some very strong talent in domestic cricket, says Ben Oliver, the Cricket Australia General Manager. Well, I don't know, at the moment, they're not doing a very good job of it, I'm sorry. I don't agree with that at all. I think it's, as the heading says, same old story, no problem here, when there may well be a problem. Marnus turns to best man to save his career. It keeps referring to, Robert Crash Craddock refers to a guy called Neil Da Costa, who's been his batting coach, to say that it's about batting smarter rather than necessarily harder. And Tim Payne, the former Test captain, kicks in and says the axe might be looming, but Labuschagne is too good to be written off. He says even if Marnus ends up getting dropped this series, he is too good a player for that to be it for his career. Well, that may be the case, but as in Ponting, as in the Wars, and a number of other players, you get dropped if you're not playing well, and you go out back there and including even Philip Hughes. You go back and do your thing to get back into the side. So there you go. That's the article there from Tim Payne at the bottom, and of course the one there on Labuschagne yet again. God, we're hearing a lot about Labuschagne. If he plays, it'll be a bit of a worry. Then there's an article a bit further on and Sunil Gavasker, Sonny basically urges a united stance on the calendar. He's talking about is all the different formats, IPL and the like, all have a certain format. IPL's big money to test young players' thirst for the long game. It's true. It is perhaps testing them, but truly they'll play. And the reality is Sonny wants a steady calendar, so we all know when the games are on. We all can plan. We can all organise our lives around it and allow Test cricket to have a space as well as the short form. So that was the Australian. Oops, I dropped smoke again. The Sydney Morning Herald, another regular in Sydney on today night, spends a lot of time talking about, guess who? Marnus Labuschagne. Andrew, who I think is a great writer, says that the mentor basically urges Marnus to work, as I said, smarter, not harder. And there's an example of him falling over his crease when he was at LBW. Ian Healy, basically on the other hand, is quite strong in saying, get him in. Healy calls for an all-rounder to make his debut in Adelaide. He's talking about Bo Webster. Well, if Mitch Marsh is injured, well, then he will come in. There he is there, the article there about get him in the team, get him started. There's also a bit about Zampa, still not a forlorn hope, perhaps being available there for the Sri Lankan series. Chance of Test debut has Zampa thriving. Zampa deserves a go. He to me has been bowling so well in the short format, gets lots of wickets and deserves his chance. Anyway, there's your papers from today, Friday the 29th of November. In fact, yes, my God, one more day and we're almost in December. Great publications here in Australia, ongoing. Stay tuned on Eyes on Sports with Norman Kochlik, Eyes on Cricket. So view, like and share the post, subscribe, tell all your friends. Let's get subscriptions up. Thank you very much. Talk soon.